Hi, my name's Pat McCluskey, and this is Teacher Toolbox 301. I'd like to talk about some of the things that I really enjoyed about this course. This is component 3. First of all, Bob Prentice, The Art of Storytelling. By nature, I'm just kind of a storyteller, and I've had a lot of life experiences that I like to share with my kids, that being one being my time with the Peace Corps in South Africa. And the kids really love hearing stories about that, relate to it, and it's just a good way to establish trust and rapport with the kids. I like the way Bob talks about how to motivate kids, that being getting them involved into the teaching process, whether it's assigning jobs to hand out stuff, responsibilities in the classroom, and even having them come up and teach a lesson to their peers. That's something that I want to try. Also, Bob really struck a chord with me when he was talking about fear. Sometimes um, I can be overwhelmed by fear in the classroom with trying new things or approaching a kid that's maybe um, presenting some problems. And sometimes that fear stops me from doing what I really want to do. I love the acronym false evidence appearing real, because sometimes the story and monster I make in my own head is way bigger than the reality of the situation. So um, I really came away with a lot from that presentation. Secondly, Jonathan Frieson's presentation on Make Them Visible, them being kids with behavioral problems, learning disabilities, etc. So many times, I think teachers shy away from those kids. Where Jonathan says, you know, they want teachers to come towards them, and the greatest gift you can give to a human being is your presence, and that can be just sitting and listening, asking how their day was, smiling at them, giving them a pat on the shoulder, and I just think it's great to remember all those things when dealing with kids like that. Um, Third, Robert Ramsey's book, 501 Tips for Teachers. My five favorites are one, set routines for kids. And I think that goes from when they're children all the way to adulthood, is that people strive on routines, knowing what's expected of them, knowing what's going to happen. Um, I think that benefits everyone. Secondly, the three best ways to teach respect and tolerance, and I love this response. Example, example, example. Talk about respect and tolerance. Show ways how to give respect and to tolerate people. Tell stories about it. I think modeling the behavior is the best way for our kids to learn respect and tolerance. Thirdly, distribute a weekly newsletter to the parents through an email. It's basic, it's simple, and involving the parents into the learning process is such a big part of a student's experience, and we owe that to them. Plus, parents love to hear positives about their kids, not just the negatives that usually they're only hearing. Fourth, uh, don't settle for sloppy work or second best. Um, I don't want to be a part of the dumbing down of America. And when I read that, um, I think sometimes in the past I've passed people or settled for second best work when our job is to get the best out of each kid. And lastly, dress for success. Sometimes I downplay that, but I think it's so true. When students are looking at a professional that's dressed, shirt and tie, ready to work hard, I think that has a positive effect on everyone, including the teacher. Lastly, I want to talk about Dan Tolkatz's video on challenging personalities, or what he calls CPs. I got to remember the golden rule when dealing with a CP is that 90% of my difficulty with the relationship with this person comes from the feeling about the person, and I don't want to let my emotions and maybe anger or frustration with the person get in the way with how to deal with the actual problem at hand. And I also enjoyed his talking about 3 ways to control a meeting with a CP. One, keep a soft tone and volume for your voice. If you raise your voice and get heated, that's the way the meeting's going to go. If you keep, a soft tone and volume, I think it calms the meeting. Secondly, remain calm and courteous. And that just seems to be logical. If someone's being courteous towards you, it's hard to get upset at them. And lastly, speak slowly and let the CP concentrate on the words that you are saying. Keep it simple so that they can follow along, and I think everything will go great. I could talk over and over about this class. I feel ready for the upcoming year. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.